So today's topic is talking about how we can use ChatGPT as a tool to sell more homes, right? Like, it's cool, it's artificial intelligence, it can do all these great things, but how can we actually use it to generate more business and more opportunities? And of course, I can't get into it this morning. So I'm going to keep trying to get in and refresh it. But even if I can't get in and use it, we can still have a discussion about ideas and best ways to actually use it as a tool in our businesses, and very specifically to get more business, right? Because like that's the useful thing here, right? Like anything, any kind of cool widget or thingamajig, right? It's the end. The reality is, if it doesn't actually help us do more business, who cares, right? Like, what's the point? So I guess first and foremost, have you used it? Have you used ChatGPT at all? I was getting some yeses, some nos, etc.
I'd love to try it, but I haven't.
Yeah. Okay. Kristen says yes. Isabel, very little. Scott, no. TC, yes. Gigi and TC, I haven't forgot about you. I'm going to reach out this afternoon. Alexis, I loved it. Richard, I'll address that at the end. Alexis says she's obsessed. James said fiddled. So did you actually fiddle with it? I don't know. That was dumb. That was a dad joke, which, yeah, anyway. Daphne says a little. So let me see. I'm going to refresh one more time. Not sure about it yet. I don't know what you're not sure about, Pete. Are you not sure what it does, or why you would use it, or what are you unsure about it?
Yeah, I'm just reading particular articles and stuff like that. So I'm just kind of just a little leery, that's all. So
But
just,
you're leery of it in general, or as it relates to
I'm
business?
just getting a little leery about it. I'm not sure yet. So I'm just going to do a little bit more, give me this week.
Okay, well, I can assure you, Pete, that there's nothing that you should be leery about it as it relates to using it in the ways that we're going to discuss here.
I don't
Right?
know, man.
So,
it's kind of like Skynet.
What's that?
It's kind of like Skynet. That AI.
Yeah, well, listen, the toothpaste is out of the tube with this stuff. Like, a lot of this stuff, I mean, there's no going back.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
On a side note, there was a report yesterday on our news station down here in California that the teachers are discovering that a lot of the essays and things turned in are coming from ChatGPT.
Sure.
And I think that was one of the things you mentioned when you first brought it up, that once the students start using it, well, the teachers are discovering that they are, and they're finding the similarities in their paperwork.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
I think that was more Harry, but I had mentioned it as well.
Was that Harry? Okay.
So regardless, I do still think that it has value, if for no other reason. It helps us on our business not have to start from scratch when we're doing certain activities that could help us grow our business. Now, I'm not suggesting that everybody needs to use this thing. I'm not suggesting that everyone even needs to do the things that we're going to, the ways that we're going to outline that you can use it to get more business. But if you are doing those activities, or you're thinking about doing those activities, this may help be a shortcut for you and save you some time, energy, and efforts. So, in no particular order, and feel free to raise your hand or drop in the chat as well. In no particular order, these are the ways that I see that it logically can be used to help us get more business. Blog posts. Okay, blogging is still, and I think will remain, a great way to get more business. And it's a long-term play. And there are certain things that you need to incorporate and include with blogging to get more business. But what this provides, what ChatGPT provides as it relates to that, is you don't have to start from scratch. You can get blog post ideas, or an entire blog post that you can then edit, or use in whatever form or fashion. You can even have it write several different variations and pick and choose, or whatever the case may be. Number two way would be community pages. So building out a library on your website, whether it's custom pages on KV Core, or if you're using some sort of WordPress platform, or whatever site platform you're using, you likely have the ability to make blog posts and pages. And the difference is blog posts are very topical in nature. In other words, they sort of expire, right? Like, so for example, the weekly email newsletter process and template that we recommend, and that I'm doing and that James is using and mentioned earlier, includes having a blog post that details all the fun things that you can do in your market this weekend, right? We call it our weekend bucket list. For me, it's the Central PA weekend bucket list. That blog post essentially expires Sunday night, right? The information is no longer relevant. Now, some of the events may be repeating or recurring events, but you get the idea, right? That has a shelf life. The blog post has a shelf life. Pages, and specifically community pages, are more evergreen. Now, communities can change and evolve over time, but essentially, like, for example, I live in a neighborhood that has been, the development has been completed for quite some time. We're not going to, the number of homes in the neighborhood isn't going to change. The fact that we've got a park in the neighborhood isn't going to change. The number of total acreage or acres in the neighborhood isn't going to change. Proximity to major highways, that's not going to change. The local amenities could change, right, if a new strip mall goes in, but you get the idea. Like, the majority of this stuff around a community isn't going to change unless you're making a community page at the beginning of a construction project, right? And you can always come back and edit it at the end. But I'm kind of beating a dead horse here, but hopefully you get the idea and the differences there. Okay. Video script ideas is another great use of this. You can use ChatGPT to come up with a video script around a particular topic. Now, for good reason, I believe, the data is, it's not including like yesterday's news, right? So you can't have it write you a video script about, what happened in the stock market yesterday, okay? But you can have it come up with video script ideas for, 5 questions that first-time home buyers often ask or wonder about, right? Things like that, which also are more evergreen in nature anyway, because those questions in that example are, don't really change much over time. I mean, it's kind of can evolve and things change a little bit, but generally speaking. Anyway, another great use is for text and email scripts. In fact, Mark in our group here, he recently used ChatGPT to create an entire series of emails and text messages for sale by owners. Okay. It's a time saver. Obviously, with any of these ideas, you're going to want to go back and edit to be in your voice and so forth, but you don't have to start from scratch. You don't have to start from scratch. Was that somebody coughing, or was that somebody had an idea to share? Please.
No, that was me. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't somebody, somebody wasn't trying to add something. Other ways that we can use ChatGPT. This is a big one for me because I hate doing this. As much as I like and am a marketing person, property listing descriptions, I hate coming up with. And once again, this is a great use of the platform so that you don't have to start from scratch. You can plug in information about a listing. And in fact, we may come out with a tool that's built on ChatGPT that makes it even easier to spit out things like property listing descriptions. You put in, number of beds, number of baths, square footage, a couple of notes about amenities, and bing, you'll have 5 example descriptions that you can copy and paste, you can tweak, you can put them together like a menagerie, however you want to use. For me, those are the 5 biggest and most logical uses of it right now. But this is a mastermind and a brainstorming session. So what are we missing? Or for those of you that have used it, what have you used it for most often? What are ways that we're missing here or that you've experienced that are great ways to use it? Mia says, what does the app icon look for? There are several when you search the App Store. So as I understand it, you don't want to use the app version of it. Like, I think those apps are charging. What you want to use is chat.openai.com. That is the version anyway that's free on a laptop or desktop. Some people are using ChatGPT to generate keywords. Okay, so what target keywords you to go after in your market? I think that's great. Absolutely. Let's see here. Starting point, absolutely. Using I used it. Gigi says, I used it to write a blog in a sarcastic tone, why you don't want to lowball an offer, and loved it. Absolutely. How else? Yeah.
Yeah, I used it. I need to come up with a new company name because I got a cease and desist. That's a whole other story. But yeah, it came up with a couple of words because I was trying to come up with something unique, like a Google, something no one's used. It wasn't that good at that, but it gave me a couple ideas.
Yep. I love that. Right. That is a very specific one-time use, but when you have that one-time need or brainstorm, it's nice to not have to be limited by your own thinking or your own whatever Googling or for one thing or another. Paul asks, or yeah, that's kind of a question. When doing the listing description, would you use a long tail description to enter into GPT to get a more focused property description? Yes, I think when you're doing a property listing, the nice thing that you could do is you can take the facts about the property and it will turn that into an interesting description, right? So like 5-bedroom, 3-bath, single family home on, 0.28 acres in South Middleton Township, Boiling Springs School District, in Misty Meadows community, walking distance to schools, right? Hit enter, bang. You can also then say, I would like a longer version of this or a shorter version of this, or I don't know that you want to have a sarcastic listing description, but you could ask for a more sarcastic version of it. It's kind of crazy how smart this thing is. Yeah.
On that note, then, as I asked that question, what I was wondering too is you kind of hit on it, but instead of just doing, hey, it's 4 bedrooms, 5 baths, all this other nonsense, would you go into all kinds of other detail as it relates to things like the area, travel times, dog parks, eating, general location, stuff like that? I mean, I don't know how much.
I think it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense to do that. You're giving it more to play with, right? The more information you give it to play with, the more it can get creative with the output, right? So yeah, I think all of that is good, right? Like, having that information and including that, again, facts about the property. The hard part for me in doing property listing descriptions is not the facts, it's the taking of the facts and making it sound interesting and engaging, right? Like, and so if you can input a bunch of facts and hit, I mean, it's a nice time saver and valuable for sure.
I think it will be interesting to see if it just spits out facts or tells that story, like you said, Josh.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
It
So
does.
I feel that's the important thing, that it tells a story that engages the buyer.
With,
Yeah.
with the chat, it's all about how you ask it though. So you need to
Correct.
list the facts and then say, weave it into an exciting story or make it a headline. You got to tell it exactly what to do or it comes out kind of dry.
Right. Jeffrey making the same point here. The key seems to be the commands that go along with the requests, right? Do you want bullet points, pros and cons, story mode, voice or author style? So the more specific you get, it's only as smart as the commands you give it, right? And so, and naturally, the more you play around with it and try different things, the better you'll get with utilizing the tool. And that's really, I mean, it's all it is a tool. And Paul said it, great here, garbage in, garbage out, right? Like if it will give you, the output will be only as good as the input you give it and the commands you give it. I did this one for fun last night with my kids. Write a poem about a hippo and a frog in the voice of Edgar Allan Poe. Wow. Yeah, I mean, you can have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, you can, to riff off of that, you can say, write a 500-word blog article about whatever topic you want in the style of Kurt Vonnegut. You can say, write a 100-character ad in the style of Josh Schoenly.
Yeah.
And it will,
I don't know that it was me, but
well, you've got a lot of stuff out there. It might. You never know.
That's right. I would agree with Richard. I bet your stuff would be all over the place enough so that it would gather all kinds of Josh Schoenly-isms and paste them together in a story that would be Josh Schoenly.
That's a little scary.
It'd probably have a Don Mattingly quote buried in the middle.
Yeah, maybe a Don Mattingly, something or other in there. My viewpoints on why he should be in and not Scott Rowland. Anyway, Pete says, can it come with up with a USP that will entice people to contact you? I would say, given the right commands, absolutely, it could come up with some variations of or ideas that would be unique value propositions or unique selling propositions. Joel says yes. That's great, Joel. I'm not even going to repeat that one. Those that know Bob will know. That's one of his sayings for sure. Jeffrey says, now write a haiku. Hippo and frog dance in the pond. Their friendship shines. Nature's bond so bright. Yeah. Other ways for real estate that maybe can, could, should explore.
James has his hand up.
What's that?
James has his hand up.
Oh yeah. Well, this could be a real estate thing, the application, but so this is crazy. You know how they have the visual versions, put your face up there and they make a character out of you, like some cool stuff, I think, on the horizon. But I had a dream last night that somebody else had taken a picture I'd posted on Facebook and made a bunch of memes, kind of was poking fun at me. And so they chopped up this photo and done that. I could totally see that happen.
Yeah, well, there's an app. I forget the name of the app, but they've literally they've created a multi-million dollar, maybe even no, I don't know. It has gone crazy, and the app is just adding the function to the open source AI, and the app makes superhero versions of you upload a picture and it'll create a bunch of superhero versions of you, right? Such a simple thing. All they did was add functionality on top of the AI. So for example, building an app where it makes inputting the commands for a property listing easier, right? Because no matter, as we already have hit on, it's only as good as the commands and the information you give it, right? And if you don't know what to tell it, it doesn't really matter. Like, it's not going to be useful. Gigi, the Canva has an AI program called Magic Write. Have you used that? I'm not familiar with that. No?
No, they created a new document section a couple months back, and it's in there. So I haven't played with it yet, but I know it's there.
Okay. Daphne says, I'm having ChatGPT write a community page right now. So here's how I was introduced to it. Is a buddy of mine in Nashville. I talk to him frequently, and he texted me about it probably the day it came out or the day after. And I didn't really pay too much attention to it. And then he called me the next day, or I don't know, at some point there. And this very idea, he said, you know, what neighborhood are you in, or what subdivision are you in, and what area, et cetera. And he input whatever he input, and it was a spot on description. It was like, you know, the neighborhood of Westbury is nestled in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains and overlooks blah blah blah. Like, it was, there was really, it could have been better, let's say, but there was nothing that was inaccurate or off base about what it spit out, which again is really cool and also a little scary. So I understand Pete's trepidations a little bit, but we're not using it for nefarious reasons here, right? We're using it to create more opportunities for us, and to maybe save us some time, energy, and efforts, and work smarter, not harder, or work harder and smarter. You know, that's always a good thing. D-ID.com. Future facing. Now this is where it gets a little freaky. I'm not even talking avatars and digital. Anyway.
Can I talk for a second? That just takes a photo of you, and you put in the text of what you want to say, and it creates a video of you talking.
Yeah. Jeffrey says, the largest challenge is I see that the data is aged, as it only goes back to 2020 last I looked. Yes, there are. I believe there are like Chrome extensions that can make up that deficiency. I'll try and find, you know what, I can find. There's some interesting videos that my buddy sent me on this topic. I don't know why I'm just thinking of this now. But let's see here. I think this is it. 7. Yeah, I think.
Josh, so you didn't find out from this through KV Core?
What's that?
No, I was asking if you did not find out about this through KV Core.
No.
Oh, okay.
Did you?
Yeah, I stumbled upon it about 5 days ago. I'm gonna share the link.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is Chrome extension web chat GPT? That sounds right, Glenn. That sounds like the one that I was thinking of. I'll have to check that video out, Adele.
The Inside Real Estate, you know, the one that Ryan used to do. Yeah, so I got a notification about it. And I got halfway through it when you said last week that we were talking about it today. And I'm like, oh. Yeah, but I thought that's how you
Chat GPT to generate content for your blog and area pages.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That is a beautiful, I didn't even see this. So great share, a perfect addition. And it will apply whether or not you have KV Core, right? It's the idea of using it to create content for blog posts and or pages, right? So evergreen content or expiring / topical content. Great share. Thank you, Adele. That's why I love doing these sessions, right? You never know what will come out of it. Yeah, the technology acceleration, ChatGPT, the amount of users, the amount of time it took them to get to certain user benchmarks is insane when you compare it to like things like Facebook and YouTube and iPhone and whatever. Is there a list somewhere of commands and prompts? I think one of those videos gives some resources for that. One of the videos that I shared in the chat. But what we'll do is we'll see what other resources we can pull together, Chrome extensions, etc., and add that to the free members area that we have, where folks can access these replays, resources, etc. And we'll add everything that we can find in there for that. Yeah, the imagination is endless, right? But the trick is, you know, using it to be more efficient and effective, and not to just go down a random rabbit hole, right? Like, and that's always, you know, with anything new and cool and shiny like this. Shay.
Yeah, sorry, I'm in the car. So
all good.
I think I might have missed something. What's the cost of this chatbot AI thing?
It's free.
Oh, I like that. That's the best price ever. I dig it.
Yeah. Now, some of the apps built around it are charging, but the web-based version of it, which, you know, the limitation there is it sometimes it's you can't get on it because it's hit capacity, which it's been at all morning since I've tried to get on for this session. But when you can get in, it is free, and it is, you know, there's loads of ways to use it. And
well, in that video from Inside Real Estate, they showed a way we can embed it easily on our KB Call website.
oh,
So maybe there may be a workaround. Like I said, I only got halfway through it, but they were.
I will definitely be checking that
out,
that video this afternoon, and we'll add any resources, etc. mentioned. We'll do what we can to add that into the members area, the free members area for these sessions. Excuse me. I heard that OpenAI has a paid version. Yeah, I don't know, and it probably will change over time, right? Quite honestly, well, whatever. I'm not going to get into the political, you know, ramifications of all this stuff. Let's just keep it surface level, and focus on how we can use it to be more effective and efficient as real estate professionals. Anything else to or ideas or thoughts to add? If not, there's nothing wrong with this being a shorter session, and we can what we can do is I can pivot to housekeeping items, and then we can open it up for any questions, comments, thoughts, ideas, or needs, you know, or you know, feedback, things of that nature.
I do have one thing that I wanted to talk to you about, and you kind of led into it when you were saying you were asking how did you get, you know, the closings. You were going to circle back to me, but I want to tell you about that. Strangely enough, because almost all of my business comes from sphere of influence, I was challenged to use the Craigslist tool in KV Core for marketing listings. And that's where 2 of those 3 new buyers that I got from that listing was Craigslist ads. And I've never used Craigslist. I just thought that was a bunch of, you know, weirdos trying to trade all kinds of like drugs and sexual favors or whatever, because I've never had to use it. But yeah, I got 2 buyers just from running Craigslist ads on my listing. So it's definitely worth giving it a go. And it didn't cost me it didn't cost me
free.
a dime.
Yeah, it's free. It's built into the KB Core engine. When you say you were challenged like someone, you know, threw down the gauntlet with you, or like what do you mean?
Yeah, I was talking with a group of agents about marketing properties and what works and what doesn't and what's been my experience. And I was telling them that I really like, contacting the top 50 buyers agents in the area. I like, pre-gaming and sending it to, the neighbors in the area, because I don't think door knocking is as effective now as it once was. And they asked me about Craigslist, and I told them, I don't do Craigslist. I'm not trying to sell cars or drugs, man. I got nothing for that. And they challenged me to give it a try, saying they'd had some success. So I, and it only really took 10 minutes, and this chat thing could make it even easier to give the general idea of what you wanted to have in your ad copy, to put that out and put it together and just make it, because my biggest problem is trying to figure out how to flower up the garbage to say about some house to get people involved and engaged in it. So with this, it could be great and make it even easier, but that Craigslist tool is pretty awesome. Just wanted to throw it out there and say that so far it's gotten me, again, two buyer broker agreements from that. And if it got me one, it paid for itself 10,000 times over.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So I just added Craigslist ad copy ideas, Facebook and Instagram ad copy ideas, Google pay-per-click ad copy ideas, right? That's another great use of the platform. Just giving yourself, like, we're limited by our own thinking, right? This thing has no limitations, really, and it's a great way to spark more ideas and variations. And specific for Craigslist, having different variations of the ad mean that you can post it more frequently. And good on you. How was the did they call or text, or how did the leads come into you from the Craigslist post?
One text and one call.
There you go.
And they were both awesome. They were engaged. They were ready to do something. Crazy enough, both of them are pre-approved, which is amazing for me. So we are actively looking, and I'm showing properties this afternoon to one of them, because the one they both asked me about went under contract. So we're actively out looking at making things happen with a buyer broker and a pre-approval.
So here's the thing, right? Like, whether it's on Craigslist or Zillow or whatever, when someone is actively looking at property, right? They're on Craigslist looking at real estate postings. They are much more, they're further down the funnel or further along in the pipeline.
Yeah.
And if whoever they were working with before dropped the ball, that's an opportunity. Or if they just haven't gotten to the point where they've been looking, but yours is the listing that triggered to actually, like, it's free. If you've got KV Core, it's built into there. And since we're talking about it, I'll show for those that don't know. Maybe I'll even be able to. It's pretty simple. You have to I think you have to install something, and you have to be logged into your Craigslist, I think. And if you do that, it's literally just bing, bang, boom, and it's done. And it's free opportunities. And Shay turned free into 2 buyer broker agreements. I mean, that's not too shabby.
And just so you know, I sent out a message to a whole bunch of local agents today to get what I want to get is 12 different properties that they give me the okay to market with them. And there's an agreement with EXP that you can market all their stuff, but I just think it's nicer to talk to the agent and say, hey, let me help you out, just for the sake of all working together. But my plan is to run a split test with this Craigslist on different properties in different areas, price points, and types to see if something pops out and does better than others.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a follow-up on that and let you know what's at least working and not working here. But so far, again, not spending any money and putting like a whopping 10 minutes into it, getting 2 BBAs is worth trying to scale up if it's possible.
Yeah, 100%. So TC brought up a good point. You have to use Chrome for this to work, but you pick a listing under more actions, post to Craigslist.
And I think this is a great idea, Shay, but I think that due to the sparsity of listings or inventory, it's about timing. So I feel that buyers are going to go on Craigslist or whatever to see what's available. So yeah, there's not just, I guess, strippers and pimps on Craigslist, huh?
See, that's what I always heard stories of about Craigslist is dealers and pimps. That's exactly what I heard. I was like, ooh, I don't know, that's sketchy, but sure enough, I'll run it till the wheels fall off. It makes money.
You might be confusing Craigslist with Backpage. Backpage has a much worse reputation.
I didn't
Never even
know
heard.
still existed.
That's something.
Text JS 116. So through the native platform, it was posting the brokerage smart number or the brokerage number to KV Core. So I just went in and edited it, easy for me to say, to be my contact information. And when I do that, I also do, I'll enable this to make it easier for people to call or text. And I don't care if we show the address. Road. Okay. If you have an open house, you can promote the open house on here too. And there you go, publish. And sometimes if you're logged into Craigslist, I think it will do automatically, but as you can see here, this means, yeah, it sent me an email verification, and all I do is complete posting. You know what's funny about this is so full circle. The very first training program that I ever put out for agents was showing agents how I was using Craigslist. This was way back when Craigslist, like you could have links, hyperlinks and stuff. And I was using landing pages. Like you would laugh at what these landing pages looked like years ago. They were squeeze pages. And that's how I built my first real estate database, was offering a free weekly list of foreclosure properties in Central PA. Richard, that's right. Buyer leads by tonight. That was the name of the course. And I built a several thousand person database all for free using Craigslist. Now you can't do it the same now, but it's free, you know. And you've got to have listings to promote on there. You can find listings, right? One old school way we used to do it and recommend is a HUD home store. Like as long as your broker is HUD approved, you can promote, you can market listings. Now you can't say that they're your, that you're the listing agent, but you can still market them. Or if you're with EXP or at an office where you have sort of an open agreement, you can do that as well. And even in that scenario, I think what Shay mentioned makes a lot of sense. At least reach out. Hey, just a heads up, I'd love to market your listing on 123 Main Street to help you get it sold, and maybe create some additional buyer opportunities for myself. Pete.
Yeah, Josh, I want to say that the use of Craigslist, because I remember the first time I experienced you and Ryan was back in the day with using that thing with the HUD and everything, doing the recordings, and they would say that the office, like, we know that you're advertising because we're getting all these calls into our office now. So, although I joke about it, Craigslist, and I think I put something in the chat, but that is a viable option, considering especially the fact that the market has shifted. So maybe going back to that old school way of doing it.
I think so. And again, the best part about folks coming from there is there's intent. There's intent. Before I reactivated my license, I was buying and selling vacant land. So I would buy a parcel at a discount. I'd resell it. Definitely at least 2 that I know of, I sold on Craigslist. And one was my most profitable one ever. I bought this parcel of land for like, I don't know, $4,000 and sold it for 15 or something like that. I don't even remember.
And Josh, if I can interrupt here for a second, and consider the fact that we can't use links, if we have KV Core, you can create like a text capture, for saying, hey, look for more pictures, more this, whatever, text XYZ, whatever. So if they do that, they're serious. So.
Well, not only do you know they're serious, if they do that, you have their cell phone, because they have to text in order to take action, or if they call the number, obviously from a landline. But 100%, that's the other thing. You're going to get fewer leads, but they're going to be more serious. Number one, they're actively searching for real estate. And number two, they had to pick up their phone and call or text you. So, Mike, I think we need to put more of a concerted effort into using Craigslist. Let's start generating some more activity on that. I wonder if there's a way. I might have to hit up the KV Core suggestion box, like a way to make it so that we don't have to edit the phone number to be, because at least in Pennsylvania, it's defaulted to the PA like main KV Core number. But
that's what Chat AI is for.
Yeah, but you still have to. No, I mean, it can't make the post though. That would need actual. I don't know. Anyway, the AI. I mean, essentially, what is posting from KV Core to Craigslist is AI. It really is artificial intelligence, if you think about it. But it's just pulling in data that we've got to tweak, which again, it's not the end of the world. The other cool thing is, with Craigslist, if you build up a library of posts, you can just go in and repost them and it'll show up at the top of the feed. So if you find one that's getting you activity, as long as the listing's still active, once you create the post, you can repost it every 48 hours, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a limit, like you can only post them or repost them, I don't know, 7 or 10 times before it expires. But who knew we were going to get down the path of Craigslist on today's session? That's good stuff. Good stuff.
Hey, Josh, I got to bounce off, but I wanted to say one more thing. If you guys are dialing, make sure to watch that DNC list. KW just got a massive lawsuit for training their agents to just blow over the do not contact and call people. So just CYA, make sure you scrub that if you're not doing it now.
100%. Yeah. Dude, I would not. Or get people to opt in and request, right? Then you're okay if it started with them coming to you. But yeah, 100%. Wherever you're getting your data, make sure it's being scrubbed or is scrubbed. Not just against the DNC, but also against the known litigator. And it was a lot of money KW paid. I don't remember the number. It was something like $40 million or something like that. Yeah, maybe I can use, this was Pete's walking tours of K&A here. Any other thoughts or ideas related to ChatGPT or anything in general? Then I'm going to get started with some housekeeping items to wrap up. My buddy Ryan and I, longtime friend, we started a new live show that we're doing around 10 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, called Wake Up Real Estate. We did our first episode this morning, and certainly would appreciate you check those out on whatever platform you prefer. They will be podcasts on Apple, Spotify, etc. They're on YouTube and Facebook. I think we even got them live streamed into Workplace, EXP Workplace. And it is a combination of news, actionable tips and tricks and strategy, and just some general hijinks, because I mean, Ryan's a good, fun guy, and he brings out the goofy side of me as well. And it won't replace Texting Tuesday, but Texting Tuesday will happen inside of that now, and just be, a regular session on our Tuesday Wake Up Real Estate. And if you want to subscribe, so to be notified of the replays, we'll timestamp the different topics and any recommended resources. It's just wakeup.realestate. The URL is wakeup.realestate. You just pop your email in there, and we'll keep you posted on that. So that'll be tomorrow morning in lieu of Texting Tuesday, but it'll be around the same time, and it'll be live streamed everywhere as it normally is. 12:30 Eastern is our big group coaching in our private team suite. We'll be back here Wednesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern for our huddles. And we've got, the Friday, Freedom Friday with Pat Hayes at 10 a.m. Eastern on Friday, and at 11 a.m. Eastern, Larry White's Wealth Building Mastermind. Wednesday, I know that I have a topic or two for Wednesday's huddle, but it's escaping me. Maybe it'll come back to me. But make sure that you bring back some wins for Wednesday for sure. And for those of you who are a guest today, if you want the recording of today's session and all of the resources that we will pull together, including the video links that were mentioned, the Chrome extensions, etc., just get back to whoever invited you, and you can get today's, which I totally forgot. Alexis, if you don't have access to Workplace in our Workplace group, we put all of those in a free members area for folks that want to go back and check out past sessions. Anybody else, anything to add or any questions before we shuffle off for the week? Oh, look at that. Looks like you can ask GPT the question about prompts. Top 100 list of commands and prompts to use with ChatGPT, and it gave a list of 49. That's pretty good. You can use it for lots of stuff. Okay, well, thanks everybody for spending some time here. Get out there, take action, use either what we shared today on this or maybe what was shared on Wake Up Real Estate to get some results. Hope to see some of you back here on Wednesday for our huddle. And if you need anything at all, you have any questions, either, like I said, get back to whoever invited you, or you can reach out to me. You can find me on social or call or text me. I'm happy to chat. Take care and talk soon, everybody.